Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us for our fourth Google Hangout featuring the different neighborhoods that SUNY-O students live in. Today, we have Kathleen joining us to talk about living on the Upper East Side. We haven't received any questions via email, but if you think of anything as we're talking, go ahead and send us an email at suniohousing@gmail.com and we'll get those questions answered for you. So we're going to have Kathleen start off by giving us a brief summary of her experience apartment hunting in the Upper East Side.
Okay, I'm going to be looking a little bit off to the side because I have some notes, so don't mind me. So my experience apartment hunting, so I came for housing day, and my roommate and I, it's another SUNY student, we really wanted to look at a bunch of places within 2 days because we didn't want to spend too much time like in New York. So what we did was we contacted brokers. We got references from some of the upperclassmen that were on the housing committee, so they gave really good recommendations. We also looked for brokers ourselves on streeteasy.com. All in all, within 2 days, we saw 25 different apartments with like 5 different brokers. But what we did was like we found out, okay, if the brokers are gonna show you places, you really have to like make them work because you don't have to pay them anything. Essentially, you just tell them your max budget, and they're gonna show you like 4 places that they have in mind that are all close by. So really, like if you're gonna work with a broker, just make them work for you. So yeah.
Right. And just to clarify, you do have to pay them if you actually get the apartment through them.
Yeah, that's the only time you have to pay them though.
But if you don't end up renting the apartment through them, you don't owe them anything, which is really nice. Yeah. Okay, moving on to our second question, which is knowing what you know now, would you have gone about apartment hunting in a different way or done it the same way?
I think the way that we did it, because we did want to condense it within 2 days, is really good to work with a broker. And also in July, you're going to find that apartments, they go really fast. So you don't really know like what's still available because they'll rent like really quickly. Like for instance, when Emily and I found our place, there was another application going in at the same time. Like our place had 2 brokers. So we had to like put our security deposit down and application, and like she had to send it to the other guy, like, look, they rented first. And then that's how we got our place. And then our backup place, like if we didn't get it, like was already rented like 5 minutes before. Like we're gonna go look at it and someone was cleaning the apartment. Like they're like, oh, it's rented already. Wow. So it's like really quick. And after that though, I didn't know when you do an application process, like with the broker, sometimes companies, they're really specific on different requirements for guarantors. So like they're gonna ask you for credit score and like tax forms, and like you have to get your guarantors to notarize different things. So it took us another 3 days before we can get the keys. So kind of just be aware that you might have to take extra days off for that.
All right. Moving on to our third question, which is how do you get to school and how long does it take you?
Okay, so I walk and I subway. And luckily, I live really close to an express subway stop. Well, not really. I have to walk 10 minutes there. But maybe overall 25, 30 minutes. It's like 15 minutes walk. So it's more walk than subway.
Okay. And would you say that that is different depending on how close you are to the subway, or pretty much the same or average for that whole area?
I think it depends. Like I live on First Avenue, and the closest subway is like 3 avenues away. And avenues are really far apart.
Right.
So if we lived like on the avenue where the subway was, it'd be a lot quicker.
Gotcha. Okay, moving on to our fourth question, which is what do you pay for rent, and is this pretty average for the neighborhood?
So originally our apartment was starting at $2,900, but for whatever reason that day it lowered to $2,500. So it was a steal because it was like 2 bedrooms, living room, and everything. It was fully renovated, so no one rented beforehand. So that's why we wanted to get it right away. But I think we probably pay like the lower end for that neighborhood. Like I think if you want like a 2-bedroom, it's easily going to be like $3,000.
Interesting. And finally, our last question tonight, which is what do you like and dislike about your neighborhood?
Okay. So what I really like is that it has a residential kind of feel, like a community kind of feel. And you feel safe walking around at night. Right now when it's warmer, you're gonna see like there's so many restaurants. They open up with like tables outside and people are just like, even like I just walked to school here. It was like 7 o'clock and all the places were packed. It's like really chill. There's like East River right beside me. People like walk their dogs, like have families. Like you're in the city, but you still feel like you're part of like a community, and it's not too crazy hectic with like a bunch of tourists all the time. I live like right beside a grocery store. I live like 10 minutes from Costco, which is like super awesome, and you're gonna love it. Like you realize you love Costco when you come here if you don't already do. And another major thing is that I don't really see beggars. in my neighborhood when I'm walking home, even late at night. But actually, there's this one new lady that just set up station by Dwayne Reed, like outside the subway. But she's new, so it's not like a like a typical thing. And what I dislike is, I guess, like if your friends are coming and you want to go out with like younger crowd, you're not really gonna go to Upper East Side. You'll probably go there like with your family if you want to have like a nice brunch or to a nice restaurant or some like live music. But it's not like a like kind of like a party scene. Like if you have to want to go party, you have to go lower, like Lower East and stuff. A lot of stuff.
All right, so checking our email, looks like you guys don't have any questions for us. So hopefully that means that we covered all the questions that you had. We wanted to thank you for joining us. If you think of any questions later on, feel free to email us, sunyohousing@gmail.com. And we look forward to joining you at the next Hangout. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.